Hey, yeah, how's it going? Can you hear me? It happened to you or something. Oh, okay, okay, great. All right, give me one moment here. I'm just going to link the videos up here. Just bear with me one moment, okay?
Where are you based?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, exactly. 12. All right, I'm just sorry. I'm just going live here. Doing this. Okay, perfect. All right, and I sent you a link to the YouTube live. You can see, so you can see me, because I don't think you can see me on Skype because I'm using the video to feed your video. But if you click on that YouTube live link, then you can see, if you want to see my face, or you can see it later. There you go. All right, cool. So I'm gonna start up here, and then we'll get started. Awesome. All right. Fernando, first of all, I want to say thank you for taking the time. I'm sure out of your busy schedule to join us today. We're really excited to have you on the show.
Oh, thank you for reminding me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. So how are things going with you? How's the start to the year?
Oh, everything went really fine because I moved for 3 months to Ecuador.
Hmm.
I'm based in Prague, but the last couple of months I've been in Ecuador, so the weather here is just perfect. I'm avoiding the cold winter, the European cold winter,
Yeah.
but you are in Canada, so right now you are in winter as well, right?
Oh yeah. Right in the middle of it. Uh, we just got dumped with about 25 centimeters of snow, yeah, a couple days ago. So
Oh yes, yes, yes. That's the funny thing because here we don't have winter in Ecuador, so we are in the middle of the world basically,
yeah.
and it's an eternal summer.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, what's interesting, I've actually been doing a bit of SEO for a company that's marketing in Ecuador, Ecuador and Mexico specifically. Um,
Right?
so I've actually been doing a bit of keyword research, even though I don't speak Spanish, but trying to do a bit of keyword research using SEMrush. It's actually been pretty fun.
Fantastic. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, basically, if you speak English, you can learn Spanish. It's very easy,
for sure.
and most of the words are very similar because we have the same source, the same reference, which is Latin.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. So let me give the team maybe a little bit of an introduction. I pulled your intro off one of your bios, so I'll maybe give the team a little bit of introduction, and then maybe I'll kind of let you say a few words. So Fernando, you're the head of communications at SEMrush. You've been with SEMrush since the beginning of the company's marketing efforts, and you built an all-star team there. Being one of the most recognized faces of the brand. You've spoken at over 50 top conferences worldwide every year, and you also specialize in B2B search marketing, e-commerce, influence marketing, as well as trained marketing teams of companies such as Expedia, T-Mobile, PrestaShop, and Bing. Impressive resume.
Yeah, that's only the last five years because I started in this world not as a marketer in this industry, not as a marketer, but as a salesperson. So I started my career not as a marketer, but selling products and services.
Interesting. So that was, I guess, was that before your time at SEMrush? Like, what was your first role in that?
Yeah. Yes. Well, I started my career working as CRM specialist. We were selling traveling products, touristic products for tourists all over the world. And the thing is that we were using, I'm talking about 15 years ago, when Well, you had Google, you have different sources to take some information about your next your next travel path, but you needed to understand how economic, what was the pack, how many different options you had if you were a tourist, of course. And the thing is, we were already identifying the intent of the user using CRM, the one that I love till now, which is Salesforce.
Oh yeah, us
I
too.
was I was doing my pipelines. I was doing my prospecting in Salesforce. So analyzing all the information that I have already from a prospect, from a lead, so how they were searching on Google, the images they were looking most on our webpage, the reference from which partners they were coming from. I already have all the information I need to make my next move, which was sell the product, and I was doing that. I was doing that really fast, thanks to Salesforce. So as a sales specialist, using a CRM, I was converting about 100 to 200 leads into clients per day.
Wow.
Well, that was for a travel agency. That was just amazing because most of them they were just converting like 1, 2, 3 people per day. I mean per salesperson, but we were doing an impressive job. And starting from that, we'll having all the information about the prospect, the interest, the intent, the search queries, the link partners that they were coming from. So I was trying to analyze, okay, everything is related to search. So what is the next thing to do here? So you need to work your brand image. So if you have a web page in a really high level, that's how I learned about this tool that is called SEO Quake.
Yeah.
It's a very old tool. So it's a toolbar where you can have all the information about search queries, the volume, if you have keyword stuff in there, some insights about the site audit of your webpage. So basically, all the general information that you can have. And these guys were the founders of SEMrush. So it was the same company. I started working for SEO Quake like 10 years ago, but their next big project, a product, was SEMrush. So I was starting my career there as a salesperson, but they needed a lot to work with marketing. So I was speaking at that time. Well, I'm still speaking at this moment, Russian, Spanish, and English. And I was living in Russia, in St. Petersburg. So that was a perfect match for them and for me because I really wanted to learn about this industry, and they really wanted to have a person who has the knowledge about how you can work with clients and how you can attract more of them. So it was a win-win strategy for us. And at that moment, we were around 25 or 20, 27 people in the company. So we were a proper startup.
Yeah.
So we were just starting, having all the teams in a small office. Basically, 99% of the people working for SEO Quick and SEMrush were developers, and then just me.
Yeah.
So that was the big difference
Yeah.
at the
Wow.
beginning.
I didn't know SEO Quake was the same owners. That's interesting.
It is, yes.
Yeah, because I remember that. Like I mean I got into SEO around 2012. Before that, like I had this experience in web design and similar to you, like sales and stuff like that. It was kind of the natural evolution into SEO, but I had used that toolbar years ago. And SEMrush, same idea. I've been kind of using it since the early days. Like originally it was more, I think before they even had projects and stuff, it was more just like competitive intelligence, looking at a domain, seeing like what are the queries they're ranking for, right? And things of that sort. And then like when there was like penalties, Google penalties and stuff like that, seeing how sites are
Yeah.
impacted and stuff like that, you could tell like almost right away if a site had been penalized just by the kind of ups and downs.
Yeah, all the information was very handy. You have all the metrics there. Remember, we have there as well the number of backlinks. We have all the information from Google. What is that metric from Google that nobody's using right now?
Like page speed insights and stuff like that, or
Page rank.
oh, page rank. Oh, that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, that's cool. So,
Yeah.
I mean, tell us a little bit about what's up at SEMrush lately. What are you guys? What's going on? What are you guys doing? Are you guys doing any, you know, new events coming up or new features for the software? Like, what's new there?
Well, right now we have a different SEMrush. Actually, we have defined finally how we are called, so as a brand. So we are not anymore SEMrush. We are
SEMrush.
just SEMrush.
All right.
Yes, we're just SEMrush, and we are working more into the content marketing side of digital marketing. So we are more concentrated into what is content, how to write a better content, and how to make the content more visible. So that's why we are enabling the SEO, which is crucial for us. It's our hardcore. It's the core of SEMrush. All the tools that we have for SEO, the domain analytics, the keyword analytics, the site audit, the position tracking, but all that mixed and powered by the knowledge about what is the best content to publish, how to write that content. So we have a live editor that is called SEO Writing Assistant, which is a plugin that you can use in WordPress, or you can use it immediately on SEMrush, or you can use that for a Google Doc, for example. And all that information that we have from there is based on the data that we are pulling from SEMrush. So what are the better keywords that you need to add there, where you can find the best links for that article in relation with the topic that you're writing for, and what is the attention that you can have from people. So if people are interested in that, it's a viral topic. And of course, we are working with different other projects. One of them is meant to be for journalists. Well, actually, we acquired a company that is called Prolly, Prolly.com. Yeah, well, it's an amazing database. So it's a CRM, but for journalists. If you have a content that you want to share with hundreds of journalists all over the world, you can just add it there, make the connections, make the right connections, and pull that press release, that content, and to have those PR articles right in the place where you want to publish them. We are working with another type of projects because, okay, 2020 has passed and it has showed us that e-commerce is here to stay basically for the next generation. Nobody knows, but e-commerce is the next big thing. Everybody knows that. And we saw that Amazon, they were doing just an amazing work. They were the bigger winners from the last year and starting from this year as well. So we opened a project that is called Sellerly, so Sellerly.com. They are working with, right now, extracting information about the resellers, how you can have better copies, so the text, the images, the content of your products on Amazon, and how you can create an A/B testing in real life, of course, and to match what is the best product that you can offer with the right keywords, with the right images, with the right text for those images, and with the right CTAs. So launching an A/B testing for Amazon, that was the first product there, but using the information that we have from SEMrush, so we know the path, the secret path of the user with clickstream data. So using that, we have the knowledge about what are the sources. So for example, somebody is coming from an Amazon partner, and they are working, I don't know, maybe they're working on YouTube, promoting different products, but we want to understand what is the source of the traffic that is enabling more sales for a product. So we are enabling their traffic analytics as well.
Wow.
And we have those products working on parallel with SEMrush with their own domains. We have Prolly, we have our main project that is SEMrush. We are investing a lot of time and money on developing new products there, but as well we are working with Amazon project that is called, an Amazon project that is called Celebrity.
Wow, definitely gonna have to check that out. I'm really excited now. Everything you're saying, I'm like, I want to get using this right now. That's really cool.
Really, right? It's really cool
Yeah.
because when you're working, and you know this better than me, when you work with clients, when you work with a new project, you need to have all the channels that you can use to promote their services, their project. Because if the users are, I don't know, they are basically on a new platform, let's say TikTok, right? You need to open a TikTok channel. You need to promote your stuff there. If your users are on Facebook, you need to do Facebook ads. So that's the right strategy. But more or less, all the users are split everywhere. So you need to pick the right channels to get more profit from those channels. So you cannot be everywhere. You need to pick the sources, the best sources of traffic, so you can promote your stuff there.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's really good advice. And one thing I have to say is the rebrand like really impresses. I even love that page on your site where you have kind of the breakdown of like, here's the kind of icon sets and how we came up with it and how it all ties together. It's like really inspirational. So honestly, that was really well done. One of the nicest pages I've seen that's kind of represents your branding direction.
Yes, and actually that rebranding, that makes a really serious point that we are product-centric company. Our main slogan is the product is first. And of course, to make a better product, we need a lot of user feedback. We need a lot of customer feedback. And we have different programs to get that feedback. So we want to improve the way that we are working with, let's say, SEO. We gather a list of the top SEOs, not only experts, but practitioners that are working in different fields, and we ask them what they need, what are their pains, and we want to solve their pains with our software. That's why you saw there we have a lot of new colors that are representing the strategies: social media, content marketing, SEO, PPC advertising, and all that powered by competitors' intelligence, or business intelligence. So that's the new SEMrush that we have.
Well, that's it. I mean, SEO, I mean, as you know, is not just about SEO anymore. It's everything. It's web presence optimization, and it all works together. It's all part of the big picture.
That's correct.
Yeah. I think one thing I like too is, I'm part of your group on Facebook, the SEMrush AllStars, and I think you guys do a really good job there too of listening to people. And, if there's a improvement, you take it out and add it, and it's like the developers and owners are there basically in the chat, which I think is pretty cool. I don't see a lot of companies doing that and really like actively seeking to kind of improve, right? And taking those recommendations, coming out with new features. I mean, I'm always, a lot of these Train Thursdays, I'm preaching it and to the team. I mean, we're big fans. So yeah, great job there.
Yeah, I believe that's part of our culture, because when we were much smaller, when we were just 10 people, 30 people, we were always asking to our fans, to our users, what's the next thing that you want us to create? So we still have this software inside of our main domain that is called User Voice. So everybody can go there. It's like a forum, an old-fashioned forum where you can create a new topic, which can be the next feature that you want to be added to SEMrush, and you have the possibility to vote there. So if one of our product owners is seeing that one topic is getting a lot of votes, they're going to go there and they're going to be checking, okay, I need to add this to our backlog. And inside of SEMrush, some of the teams that we have right now, we have more than 23 or 25 internal teams of developers with their product owners. So one of them are going to be taking that as an experiment, because we love experiment. That's part of our culture, of course. And some of the experiments are not good. We need to be honest. Not all of the experiments are a success, but you need to, I don't know, you need to fail 100 times in order to have one single winner, right? So that's why we are not afraid of failure as well, and that's something that is part of our culture. You may see sometimes on social networks that, oh, we have a new SEMrush project, but it's not as good as they were thinking. Oh, but that's the way that we are improving some of the stuff, not the old ones, not the classical ones that are helping already people, but let's say we have a new project that it needs to be tested. We are calling beta testers. Well, at the beginning, alpha testers, then beta testers, and then after that, we can launch it to the to a larger audience. That's the way we are improving the things that we have and the things that we are enabling.
Absolutely. No, that's great. And I'm curious. I mean, you mentioned earlier that you kind of you started as a salesperson kind of thing in sales, transitioned, I guess, into marketing or a kind of a hybrid. Tell me a little bit about your approach to sales and marketing and how that ties together.
Oh, definitely. Talking about sales and marketing is talking about the most interesting part of marketing, because when you are sure about something, let's say you have a hypothesis, right? This next campaign is going to be taking this proportion of the market, let's say, right? But you need to have insights, you need to have data, and you need to prove those numbers with data. And that's something that at the beginning we didn't have. We only had our own, let's say, faith. Okay, this is a good product. People are going to love it. And of course, you need to ask people, you need to have surveys, you need to have a group of beta testers, also for marketing, a brainstorming group that is going to be telling you, okay, this sounds like a good idea, or this is a bad idea. But when you have a small team, you just have your own opinion and the opinion of your, let's say, your C-level, right? Your the CEO or the CMO of the company. But you need to have more reference. That's why after a lot of failure, we understood that, okay, we're going to be moving around what this company that we really appreciate and we love, that is called HubSpot, they have. We are going to go into inbound marketing, understanding what is the right person, what is the buyer persona of ours, and let's build those funnels to attract them, or in a higher level with the awareness, or we're going to be building those campaigns for the consideration, or we're going to be pulling the decision so people can be convert faster into our clients, customers, or fans. So once we learn about who is our main user, and basically we identified it from the beginning, sometimes we are using data just to make sure that the things that we thought are right. And basically that's one of the main uses of data. You think that your ideas are good, test it with data. You have Google Analytics, you have all the information about your clients, you have surveys. Just check and be 100% sure, 200% sure that that's the right path. So combining the knowledge that we have, the ideas that we have with inbound marketing, for us was a good move to make from the very beginning. Right now, of course, we are working with higher levels strategies on marketing, and the goal setup that we have for the company. We are not working anymore with just KPIs or with OKRs, for example. We are working with something that a company called, everybody knows this company, Spotify, is working, and they are the founders. It's called Spotify Rhythm. It's an overall new approach for goal setup, and that means that you as a company, if you have more than 1,000 employees, you need to move to only to one direction. You only have one vector, and everybody in the company, from the top till the bottom, they need to understand what is the goal of the company overall. With KPIs, every team is going to be working on their own goals and their own tasks. With OKRs, every team are going to be working with their own objectives, and some of them cannot know other teams' objectives. But with rhythm, we call it right now a SEMrush rhythm. Everybody from the beginning, if we have newcomers to the company, new employees, they know what is the main goal of the company, not for the next month or the next 3 months, for the next year or for the next years to come. And that is something really beautiful for any company that is medium size or big size. That is the problem that we have at the beginning, of course, when we have more than 200 or 300 people in the company. Sometimes we had two teams working with different strategies, but the goal was the same. Imagine that with 500 people or 700 people, that was a complete chaos, because we have 4 teams working with the same client, but with different perspectives. So tools for task management, tools for communications, of course, we're using, but having only one vision about what the company main goal is something that really helped us a lot.
Yeah, that's really good advice. Kind of like the guiding star, right? It's like, what is the vision for this company and how do we get there? And everyone has to be on board, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
That's wow. So you guys have, do you have 1,000 employees? Is that how large you are now?
Yes.
Wow.
Actually, we have 1,079 people.
That is insane. That's pretty wild. Well, congrats on that success. It's great to see, no doubt.
Thank you. You know, we have around, right now I can say around, because it was a month ago, we reached 7 million users worldwide.
Wow.
And that's how, okay, if you have 7 million users, you need to have at least 100 people in customer success. You need to have at least 200 people in the sales team, and the rest you need to support the marketing and stuff. So you need to have a real organization and a structure to achieve those numbers.
Absolutely. That's pretty wild. I'd love to ask you, I mean, obviously I'm sure you have a lot of stuff going on. What would you say is the hardest part of your job?
There are a lot of things that are really hard. Let me tell you about in order, for the toughest one to the latest one. And I have 3 in my mind right now. The first one is to, because I was working more as a manager, one of the hardest things is, of course, to say goodbye to employees, to fire people, because you need to work with people that are really close to your own mentality, to your own energy. You need to have people that are really good at what they are doing, but all the people are different. They have their own problems. They have their own their own stuff, right? So one of the hardest things for me was to fire people. At the beginning till now, it's the same sensation that, okay, you are not achieving this. You have 2 more months to show these results. It's not working. Sorry. We need to take part. We need to take different paths. The second most difficult part, I will say, is to take some responsibilities when you know that the result is not clear enough. So that's the risk as a manager that you are taking. That, okay, let's let me give an example. Let's put our brand name in all the major airports in the US. So, and a promo code for all the people that are going to be there for, let's say, a week. That's going to be costing us like $3 million, right? It's a very risky, and you don't know the result because not all the people are into digital marketing, but you're going to be getting a lot of visibility, right? But you don't know the end, what is going to be happening at the end of that. So it's a very tough decision, and you cannot provide with the right numbers because every airport is very difficult. And imagine that you are doing that in March last year, right, when most of the airports were closed. Well, all of them were closed,
Yeah.
and you can say, okay, it's a big failure. So those type of decisions when you are not sure about the main result. Let's say the C-level is telling you we need to have, I don't know, 100,000 more users by the end of this year, right? You need to find a path, a way to solve that task. So that's the second most difficult part, to take risk, not database decisions. And the last difficult part, I will say, is the time that you're investing with the things that you love to do, and the time that you're investing with your family, because digital marketing is so big. It's so the landscape and the platforms that you can work, the tools that you can use, the people that you can meet is like another universe. You have unlimited possibilities there to be there in content marketing, in SEO, offline, online, and the people that are working there are really, really interesting because they love to learn more every day. So they are very curious about everything. And on the other hand, you have your family, and you need to spend more time with them, and including them with your work is kind of difficult. So the last difficult thing is to make that balance between the things that you love to do and your family, because working in a company as SEMrush, you really love what you are doing and you are passionate and motivated, but you need to think more about your family. That's the last hard thing to do.
Wow, that's great advice. I'm curious too. If you could give your younger self some advice, what would it be?
Oh, definitely. I will say, let's say 10 years ago, learn more Python.
Python, eh?
Yeah, Python.
Yeah, okay. And why is that? For automation
Yeah,
purposes?
of course, all the integrations or working with different APIs, or just trying to do the data scientist work to identify some patterns, some insights with all the data that we have. Having that 10 years ago, it will make for me as a professional a game changer, definitely. Because if you have the access to thousands or millions or tons of data, you need to find a way to filter them, to explore what is inside, to understand, okay, we can build this tool, or we can provide to this corporation this amount of data from this country. I remember at some point there were corporations, of course I cannot mention their name, they were asking us to provide them with data from countries. So we want to understand all the people, all the companies that are doing advertising, let's say in Indonesia. So we want to buy from you all Indonesian advertisers. And we say, okay, those advertisers are around 2.5 million companies. You want that? Yes, but we want the whole database, database for doing that. So Python there was a different, if I had the knowledge of Python at that moment that I have right now, it was definitely a game changer for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree, and I mean, obviously Python's been around for years and years, like easily. I mean, I don't even know when it was, but it was around 10 years ago. I know that, and I personally I liked it, like PHP, MySQL, that kind of stuff. But like Python, how powerful it is. I started learning it around Christmas because I saw like a lot of people started writing about it for SEO purposes and stuff like that, and just did a couple like test scripts where you pull in an API for whatever Google Search Console, let's say, feed in the data, and like the things you can do with that. It was really cool. I don't know. It's pretty exciting. And as you're scaling, I think it's more and more important, right? Just to ideally like cut down on really rudimentary tasks, analyzing large data sets, and giving more time, to your team members to be able to work on strategic aspects or communication with clients, any of those kinds of things, right?
Yes, definitely. Having a knowledge about how to optimize Python, how to work with those scripts, yes, it's a different stuff. Right now, it's part of the daily work. It's still very useful, but at some points, it's not already a game changer because you have a lot of people with that knowledge. But you can have some impressive results with that as well. So it's still for now, it's very important.
Yeah, absolutely. What I'm curious, how do you replenish your energy from your work life? I know you mentioned family, but how do you replenish your energy?
I'm very basic with that part. Just sleep. I love to sleep. Usually, I took 6 hours every night for a good rest.
Yeah.
But when well, that was last year, before the pandemic. I was doing basically 3 or 4 different countries per week with presentations, with demos, with workshops. That was a lot, right? I was taking at least one day per month to sleep 22 hours or 24 hours.
Wow.
That's a lot, but the next day or the next 3 weeks to go, you are just a different person. My record, let me be honest here, is 22 hours.
Wow. You must have been tired.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. And I'm curious, like if you were doing all these seminars, all this travel, and then it's kind of cut down to like purely virtual. Um, how have you handled that? Like, are you finding it more challenging trying to do everything through a screen versus like meeting people and talking to people?
Oh, well, that's the really different part of this, or of the last year, of this year. I had a lot of online events because everything is online right now. And the most challenging part is to understand that, okay, I'm right now alone in a room. I know that there are other people listening out there. I need to imagine that I have some faces there. I need to imagine. So it's just using my imagination to understand, okay, I'm not all alone here in my room. I'm with other people. But I'm gonna be again honest with you. I really miss the audiences. I really miss the people. I believe that's a human thing that all the people that were used to talk with other people in real life, they are missing us as well. But with online events, with online workshop seminars, you can reach larger audience. That's the truth. I had from the beginning of this year at least 6 online events, and in only 6 online events, I was reaching about 32 countries with those events. And in 1 month, I was doing only 10 countries, right? The same amount of people is in the online version is only working or having 2 online events. So online events are more practical. In some cases, are more beneficial. Of course, the cost effectiveness of the web online webinars is better, but the human part is going to be there. I don't know when it's going to be the next offline event, but I'm expecting for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you guys came to Ottawa. I think it was a couple years ago. It was with Marie Haynes, and you did an event here, which was we all attended. The
Yes.
entire team went. It was we really enjoyed it. It was good. Marie's awesome.
Yes, that's correct. We had a lot of plans for last year because we were also running this project that is called Global Marketing Day, that it was in October. And our main idea was to have a studio and all the experts, the practitioners, the influencers in Australia in a television set, working 6 hours from there, the next 6 hours working from Europe, let's say from London, next six hours going to New York, and the last 6 hours going to San Francisco. So we're going to be global, having a 24 hours marketing day, so the global marketing day. But last year we didn't have that because having people in closed places was not a really good idea for last year. Maybe this year something's going to be changing.
Yeah, that sounds super cool. That'd be a great event to attend for sure. That's really cool. So I think at this point, usually what I like to do is I'll open the floor to kind of questions from the team. So I got the YouTube feed over here. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of read out any questions in the chat to you, and we'll kind of go from there. So I'm just gonna write a quick note to the team. So we'll get some questions rolling in. In the meantime, actually, one thing I wanted to ask you, I saw you mentioned kind of you had rolled out the influencer marketing program at SEMrush. I actually saw a documentary on the weekend. I don't know if you've seen it. It was called Fake Famous. Have you seen that one? So
No. Let me take a note of that.
it's interesting. They basically what they do is they obviously, I mean, the influencer marketing thing and how it's tied into marketing and people promoting products and whatever it might be. But the concept behind the documentary was that they were going to take three people and try to make them fake famous, where they basically buy like fake followers and then see how it ends up working. Like, do brands end up wanting to work with them? Do they build it? And I'm not going to ruin it for you, but it was actually really interesting. It really got the kind of juices flowing. So it was interesting.
Spoiler alert. Yes. Sounds fantastic. Yeah, that's something that I really want to learn more about.
Yeah, it's pretty wild because I guess it's hard for brands to vet the influencers, right? Like, I guess they can if they do a test post, see what they kind of get back. But they could have 500,000 followers, and who knows if they're real, fake, if it's targeted, if it's not, if it's the right, anything. So it's actually quite interesting.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Well, to know if they're fake, we have a lot of tools to identify them, autonomy, or even Spark Toro. They're analyzing their profiles, but still, if they are doing that with certain amount of time, I don't know, 20,000 users per day, that will be something more difficult to analyze.
For sure.
But at the end, is the main result, the main goal? What is the main goal with doing such a campaign?
Oh, for sure. All right, we got some questions rolling in here. So we got one from Cecile. Will we be able to filter keyword research by provinces, states, regions in the future instead of just entire countries?
Oh, Cecile, let me give you some really good news. You can do that already on SEMrush. You just need to go to a project. You create a project there, and you can choose your country, your city, and of course the location inside of your city. You can do that with different devices as well. You want to do it in PC, mobile, or a tablet option. So you can do that, but you need to be sure about the keywords that you are entering on that project, because that's the main part of any tracking system. In our position tracking, you can add all the keywords that you want, but you have a limit, and that limit is based on the package that you are buying from us.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, that's great. Yeah, I personally use it a lot. I even have I'll have so we're in Ottawa, but we target Toronto and Vancouver and stuff like that. So I'll do desktop Ottawa keywords, mobile Ottawa, desktop Toronto, mobile, and I see different results for each device as well.
Yes, that's fantastic. To learn how your users are searching for your terms in different locations live, right?
Mm-hmm. Jessica, you mentioned SEO Writing Assistant. Would you recommend using any other tools for writing SEO optimized content?
Well, I have my my own set of tools. Of course, I'm not a native speaker, but I found out that also English native speakers they have some problems writing content and so on. So the mix of tools that I saw that copywriters are using are, of course, Grammarly with their SEO Writing Assistant, or they are using Grammarly, SEO Writing Assistant, and this WordPress plugin that is one of the most famous out there. What is your name? You remember the
Yoast or
Yoast?
Yeah.
Yes, Yoast. Yes. Actually, we have already integrated our keywords into Yoast, so we have a partnership there. So for writing content that is going to be more visible, Yoast, Grammarly, and SEO Writing Assistant. For example, in WordPress, it's only SEMrush and Yoast. If you are using, for example, Google Docs, SEO Writing Assistant and Grammarly. Just perfect. Why I'm using Grammarly? Well, basically because I'm not a native speaker, but as a native speaker, you will learn from Grammarly how some sentences are working better together for a certain topic. So if you're talking about nanotechnology, right? You need to be more technician. If you're talking to an audience about fashion, you need to be writing something that is according to that to that industry. So that's why Grammarly, SEO Writing Assistant are good companions.
Nice, nice. That's great advice. Anna, any advice for public speaking and how to start? As a Spanish speaker like you, I'm very conscious of my accent. Any advice to overcome this?
Oh, yes, definitely. Well, at the beginning, I had different problems while I was pitching to different events, because when you are a beginner, nobody will give you a chance because they want to have just big names out there. They want to attract more people, and that's basically very logical from them, right? But for starting, channels on YouTube are the best way to start. Recording your own voice with the topic that you love in your own YouTube channel, that's the best way to start. See how people are going to be reacting to that, reacting to your accent, for example. I found out that in many countries, including the US, when you have this Spanish-English accent, that sounds very exotic. That sounds very different. And in some cases, I remember when I was in Australia a couple of years ago, that type of accent for them is very unique, and they really love to engage with you because you have that accent. In other countries, for example, in the Nordic countries, people are going to be following you more because you are not that fast as native speakers, and you have that as a plus. Because, okay, those guys are not native speakers as you, and you have this interesting accent, and you have all these movements because we are Latins, right? Of course, if you are a native speaker, you have way more advantages, but we need to use what we have. And if we have the motivation, we have all these movements with our hands and the accent, that's something that you can use as well. Use the things that that other people think that are not that good to make a proper strategy that say, okay, no, these things are unique. You need to use them for your own good.
Excellent. Great advice. I have one from Derek. What are one or two underrated or underused features of SEMrush?
Oh, that's a great question. Actually, there are a lot of features that SEMrush users they are not using because they are not working with those channels. One of them, for example, is the product PLA, product listing ads. So if you are working with Google My Business and exactly with the e-commerce part, which are showing the e-commerce results with Google Shopping, we have all the knowledge about what are the products that other companies are promoting there in Google Shopping. We have the list, the PLA, the product listing ads that you can use to understand, okay, these are my budget advantages, so how much money they are spending versus your money and expenditure, and you can understand what are the CTAs, the content, the images that they are using. So that's a big advantage if you are working on e-commerce. Another tool that is really good, a lot of people, they don't know that it exists, is the CPC map. So it's a cost per click map worldwide. You can choose your own country. Let's say you're choosing Australia, you're choosing Canada, or you're choosing US. We're going to give you the list of all the online advertising industries. For example, insurance or fintech or the automobile industry. And you will see in each industry the keyword, the most expensive keyword and the lowest expensive keyword in that industry. We're going to be showing you the list so you can have the average price per industry, so you can build your own advertising budget started from there. So from all the industries. So that's a really interesting tool, a really useful tool to build your advertising budget if you don't have any idea how to start building one. And well, the list, just to have 3 tools there. One of the really cool features that I love most in SEMrush are, of course, the reports. 80% of the times of the SEOs that I know, they are working on reporting. We have all the reporting builders for all the SEMrush features and tools in our reports builder. So you want an SEO report, competitor research report, we can build that based on your case, and you can use the white labels, so you can add your own logo there. So you don't need to think about the next month. What if you need to work again on that? You can build the automation. So take these numbers and send it again to this email next month at the beginning of each month. So the report builder is an amazing tool that most of the companies that are working in this industry, they don't have, or they're not using it yet.
Yeah, the reporting is key. One of my favorite features, no doubt, in SEMrush. Derek actually had one last question. Do you know about the SEMrush listing management for local SEO? Do you know if there's any plans to open that up to Canada? I think it's US.
Oh, that's a great question. Yes, we have that working for US, for Australia, for UK. We have plans to open for Canada. Actually, we have some alpha testers working on that, but dates where that's going to be published or launched, I don't have that. If you have a SEMrush representative or sales representative, I believe you can ask them directly. If not, just connect with me in a couple of weeks again, and I will tell you all the information I know about it. Because yes, all the listings that we have on SEMrush are another 2 big teams inside of our company that are working really hard on that to expand, not to one country, but to a serious group of countries. Canada for sure is there.
Absolutely. It's great advice. And again, I want to take the time to thank you for taking the time to join our team. Talk about SEMrush and obviously your career. Congrats on all your success, and hopefully one time if you ever come to Ottawa, definitely give us a ring, and we'll have to meet in person. That'd be great.
Oh, that would be fantastic, and we can finally give a big hug to each other after I don't know how many years. It's gonna be a year right now, right? We're
Probably.
in February. Oh, yes, a year without hugging anyone. Yes, that's a lot of time. Well, only my family, but
yeah, of course. Well, again, thank you so much on behalf of the team, and hopefully we'll chat again soon.
Thank you, Rook.
All
Thank you for
right.
having me here.
Take
It's
care.
an amazing time.
Bye-bye.